All right, we're with Jamie Shevchik, the head coach of the Keystone Giants Baseball Team. And Jamie, another season upon us. Boy, the weather's been really good, which is nice early in the season. But, you never know how that's going to work out come March. But definitely a positive.
Yeah, so far it's a great sign. I've been at Keystone for close to 20 years now. And in those 20 years, we were able to get on a baseball field in February 3 times. This year, and the last 2 times, we went to the College World Series. So I know baseball coaches are superstitious, so we're hoping we make the run back there again.
And this year's team, you guys are highly ranked preseason. How do you feel about that right now with this team saying, okay, we're pretty darn talented again this year?
Well, that remains to be seen. We lost a lot of guys from last year's team that played for the national championship. And the thing with the rankings, it's great. I think it brings a lot of great publicity to the program, a lot of publicity to the college. But it's something that we as a team can't buy into that too much. We have to still prepare the same way that we would if we were ranked number 2 or if we were unranked. I think a lot of teams fall into that trap a little bit, of kind of thinking that they're just a little bit better than they actually are. So we've been working hard, and you can't tell if you come to our practice that that we're the second-ranked team or a whole group of guys that are rebuilding. So I think we've got a lot of new guys, a younger team, but I'm really happy with so far the guys that we have.
I run into Coach Egbert at Misericordia University in the off season, and he's like, man, he's stacked up over there. I don't know how he's doing it. So we joke a little bit, but Misericordia's really done a nice job. Egbert's done a nice job. There's some good baseball here in northeastern Pennsylvania at the local colleges.
A lot of the local colleges are getting better. It's actually pushed me a lot over the last couple of years. Teams like Misericordia, who we trade wins and losses just about every year, it seems, and they're moving in the right direction. But yeah, I mean it's a grind. Rebuilding a team year in and year out, and kind of developing some of the younger kids is. I give a lot of credit to our coaches that we have too.
For you, there's a lot of baseball in your life. I mean, it doesn't end in the summer. You go up to Massachusetts and you do that thing, and then in the fall. So, what do you try to do to maybe relax if you get a chance?
I don't have much time. I think the biggest thing with me is, I don't have a lot of other hobbies. It's baseball. So when I get time, I spend that time with my family. Especially when we get into the spring and in the summer, I don't get a chance to see them a lot. And so when we do have that time, that downtime, I make sure that I'm home and I'm spending time with my girls. But you're right, it's baseball nonstop. I mean, last year, I think we got home from the College World Series May 28th, and then I had to turn around on June 2nd and head up to Cape Cod. So it was. I'm happy that the family gets the chance to spend the summers with me up in the Cape, because that's kind of a reward for the sacrifices that they've made for me too.
This group of guys we're going to be talking to, we got a lot of them we're going to talk to, a lot of local guys that have really made a nice name for themselves, for their high school programs, and of course they made you pretty happy so far with what they're doing.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of newcomers this year, and a lot of the local kids that you're going to see here today are newcomers. Chris Panzarella is he's a sophomore. He's a transfer from Delaware State, a Division I school, from Hazleton, and he's going to kind of be the guy that we think is going to anchor the middle of our infield for the next 3 years. So we're happy to have him. Adam Kelly, outfielder from Honesdale, another good young kid who we think is going to be very, very good for 4 years in this program. Billy Nelson's the senior. You've talked to him before. He's the backbone of what this team is all about as far as leadership goes. And Nick Carlini from Abington, another good who I think is going to be a very, very good young player in a couple of years. And then we have a handful of guys that are here tonight that are not from the area, but all new to the program. So it's this is a big group that we have. We're very, very deep, and we're excited to see what we can start. We can't wait to start playing.
And once we look at that roster every year, it seems like, oh man, that's a lot of pitchers. But you need that many arms in the type of grind that you guys have.
A couple of years ago, we started putting a varsity team and a JV team together. So it made sense to us to carry more players, and a lot of those young guys have opportunities to now develop. They're playing 10, 15, 16 games throughout the course of the year, and they get the chance to move up and down from varsity. They get the experience of a varsity team, but they're playing baseball at a young age. At a younger age.
Overall, you talk about the places you guys travel, different things. Take us through some of the highlights that you look forward to in the season. you guys hit South Carolina or Florida or anything, Virginia?
Yeah, next week we actually we open up in the first weekend in March. We'll be in we go to Baltimore, Maryland. We'll play a 3-game series down there. We open up with Johns Hopkins, and then we play the University of Scranton in Maryland, and then we finish the trip with Stevenson University out of Maryland. We come back to campus for 3 days, and then we're in Port Charlotte, Florida for a week. So that's the highlight for the beginning of the season. Then we get to the tail end of the season. Hopefully we're good enough to get back into a regional and have that chance to go back to the World Series again.
Well, we're really excited about a fun season for the Keystone College Giants. Always great catching up with you, and we wish you well the entire season.
We're excited too, John. Thanks, man.
All right, we're with Billy Nelson from the Keystone Giants baseball program, and Billy, these years go by pretty quickly. Let's talk about being a senior now at Keystone, your experience.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they fly by. Everything flies by. Being a freshman, I was down in Indian River in Florida, and I'm a hometown kid from Moscow, and going away for 2 years, I mean, coming back to Keystone was the best thing I ever did. Last year, obviously, everybody knows that we had a good run. We went to the World Series, lost the national championship, and hopefully we can repeat it.
For you, you talk about your high school coach, the college coach here, kind of similar. These guys are pretty good friends as well.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Brian Jardine from North Pocono and Coach Shevchik from Keystone. I mean, they grew up together, played baseball together, best friends, and same kind of coaching philosophies, definitely. And they're just great leaders on and off the field, and they put us in the right direction. And I mean, it shows. The record shows for it.
Talk about what you bring to the table as a baseball player. What do you like to think, okay, this is what I could do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, right now I feel like I want to be like more of a mentor to the younger guys, and I don't know, I just want to bring to the field, bring my A game every day, and I play infield, third base, first base, and then I also pitch. So anything to do to help the team, but right now I'm really trying to get the young guys to buy into the program, and hopefully we keep doing what Keystone's been doing the last couple of years.
Being that utility guy where you could throw some innings, you could start, you could finish, you could be a middle guy, you could play this position, that position, you're almost invaluable. What does Coach Shevchik kind of say to you as far as having that role of, if I need you here, you're going to be there?
Yeah, definitely. Whatever he says, I obviously do because he's coach, but I mean, he doesn't like to throw out compliments that much, but when he does, I mean, it's a good thing. But I don't know, he puts us in the right position, so whatever he does, you can always trust it, and it's always going to work at the end of the day.
And this group of guys, you graduated so much talent, but talk about, he feels pretty strong about a really talented group coming back here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, coming off a year like we had last year, you're going to lose a lot of guys being seniors and moving on to whatever they're going to go with in their life. But we brought in a lot of talent, a lot of young kids stepping up, and I think we're going to have a pretty good team again.
As far as overall, the places you guys travel, the things you do, you get to know these guys, Dominican Republic, Texas, Florida. They're from all over the place, but some pretty strong relationships.
Definitely. I mean, you build chemistry over a short period of time with these guys. You're with them every day, practicing every day, sweating with them every day. You get in arguments. You know what I mean? You're a team. You got to build chemistry up from the bottom up, and that language barrier between maybe a guy from Puerto Rico or a guy from here is a big thing. But we do a pretty good job of really filling that gap.
It's always great catching up with you. Continued success there at Keystone College. Hope you have a great year.
Thank you.
Nick Carlini with us, Abington Heights product, playing for the Keystone Giants this year. And Nick, let's talk about your experience thus far at Keystone. What's it been like?
It's been great. We have a lot of great guys this year. Our seniors, our leaders too, have been great for us too. They're always intermingling with the freshmen too, so it's great.
We talk about Coach Shevchik and the coaching staff, guys who know the game of baseball, but also have that friendly feel that if there's an issue, they're going to help you with it.
Definitely. I couldn't think of anyone else to learn baseball from, honestly. Just great coaches. Our hitting coach too, got to be a genius. Coach Smythe is a great guy, and he really helps all of us out too, so I'm really happy with everyone.
How about some of these local guys you get to meet? You know them as not enemies, but competitors, and now you guys are together. So talk about some relationships. A guy like Billy Nelson.
Billy's been great. He really took me in. I'm playing third base too, working out at third, so he's really been teaching me the ropes, showing me some things. And Chris Panzarella is also a guy who's been a local guy, and it's really nice to see them kind of becoming friends with all of us and really just intermingling too. It's great.
And then some of these guys, international flavor. You guys got guys, Dominican, Puerto Rico, Texas, Florida, a pretty vast roster. Talk about getting to know some of their past.
Well, we're a big, diverse team, very diverse, so everyone gets along too. I think it really helps too with winning. and just kind of as we get deep into that season when we all can relate to each other and just know that we have each other's backs is great.
National ranking, preseason, coaches, listen, we still got a lot to prove, but we graduated so much, but he feels pretty good about it.
Yeah, definitely. There's a target on our back, and we know that, and that doesn't change our work ethic. So we're just going to keep doing what we're doing and hopefully go out there and compete every day.
As far as your talent, let's talk about what you bring to the table, what you feel your strong suits are, and things that you're still working on with your ball game.
Defense, definitely still working on that. Always want to get your arm velocity up too, and hitting. I love to hit. So within the next few years, I'm definitely excited to see what Coach Smythe has in store for me.
It's still so early to say, okay, hey, I think we're going to be good in this area, but you're really going to need strong pitching when it comes down to it, because the season, you're playing three game series a lot of times. Then if you get into the playoffs, it gets kind of a little crazy in some of those tournaments.
Definitely. We have a lot of great pitchers, a lot of skillful pitchers, and it seems like all their balls move about 13 feet. And it's really nice to see, even when you're getting better in the box too. Those pitchers really help you out, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do this year.
Well, we wish you well. Great to see you, and have a super season, okay?
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
We're talking Keystone Giants Baseball at Arcaro and Genell's Takeaway Kitchen. Chris Panzarella with us. And Chris, let's talk about why you chose Keystone. What attracted you to Keystone College?
Last year I went to Delaware State, and then I transferred here. When I came here to meet with Coach Shev, everything I was looking for he just said it right there. So, obviously right there, I just went for it.
A lot of good coaches on the staff, not only Coach Shev, there's some other quality guys. Talk about getting to know some of those coaches.
Yeah, like Coach Mike, he's great with the hitters. Really good with the infielders too. We got a good catching coach with Coach Rob, and he's a pitching coach. They really know what they're doing. And Coach Shev, he just knows everything about everything.
Big fish, small pond kind of theory at Keystone, but boy, there's a lot of big fish because there's a lot of talented guys on this Division III team.
Yeah, I honestly think from seeing the talent that I played versus last year, we could run with a lot of Division I teams and beat them, or even win a series versus them. So we got a lot of good guys here that transfer in, and we get out of high school. So it's a really good program.
Let's talk about what your talent set is and what you feel like you're going to contribute to the Giants this year.
Me personally, I feel like I'm going to really help them up the middle with defense, and try to do as much as I can hitting, but really just play really good defense for them and make all the routine plays.
Nice to get outside in February. That's pretty rare. Coach Shevchik said it only happened 3 times in his 20-year career there. Talk about being able to get outside and get a little bit of that spring feel right now.
Yeah, it felt really nice today. It was like 65, and we were out there. It just makes it more game-like than being in the gym or in the cage. And then it just makes it a lot like it's game-like, and it's coming up real soon, so it's big for us.
As far as handling the academics with the athletics at a level in college, tell us a little bit about what that's like, and kind of like in-your-face stuff like, okay, this is reality. We got to start like doing this now.
Yeah, when first we got to worry about our schoolwork so we can play, and then right when we get on the field, it's all about business. And we put all that back. You worry about that and just be in the moment.
As far as some of the talent you've seen on this team, and I know again it's very early, but tell us a little bit about what you like to see about some of these guys, as far as whether it's their work ethic or saying, wow, man, this kid could hit pretty far or play some defense.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of guys who work really hard. Our pitching staff is really, really good. They really work at it. Probably one of the better pitching staffs in the country, maybe. And I feel like mostly everybody works pretty hard on our team and wants to get back to where they were last year, but we got to take it one game at a time.
All right, man. Well, we wish you well. We appreciate you coming out tonight.
All right, thank you.
Dan McGuire with us from the Keystone College Giants baseball team. Dan, you're from New Jersey, so let's talk about how you found Keystone College.
So actually, another player from when I was an incoming freshman, another player named Mike Pemberton was at Keystone. He was a senior at the time, so he kind of told me about the school and told me about the great program and got me interested in it. So that's what kind of brought me up here.
Let's talk about the position or positions that you play for Keystone.
Right, so I'm a right-hand pitcher for Keystone.
Talk about some of those pitches you have and what you're hoping to work this year.
Yeah, so mostly fastball, 2-seam, 4-seam, changeup, throw a cut fastball also, something moving away from the plate, and then a curveball as well.
Some of the guys are teasing, saying, a lot of movement on our pitchers. Right. Talk about the deep stable of pitching.
Yeah, this year especially, I think we're pretty set up to go for another good run like we had last year with our pitching staff. couple great arms this year, and then you know, we have the guys behind them to really solidify our bullpen.
Some of those senior leaders that are gone, the new guys have to kind of take over leadership-wise. So,
Right.
what are you expecting as far as that this year?
Yeah, there was definitely some losses from the senior class last year, but you know, I think we have the right mentality and the right kind of guys to step in and fill those shoes and make it another great year, successful year.
Baseball players come in all different sizes. You get a guy like Billy Nelson. He's not the biggest guy, but man, he's got a big heart. He's got a lot of talent.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get some guys like 6'5", 250 on your team as well.
Right, yeah. So we get all shapes and sizes for baseball, especially over at Keystone. But you know, we work with what we got, and you know, we have a great team, great work ethic through everyone, and you know, really just trying to form those bonds and create a good team mentality that'll eventually lead us hopefully back to Wisconsin.
Let's talk about your background, playing in New Jersey, near the beach.
Right.
Everybody wants that. You end up coming, you know, to a place like Keystone where
Right.
maybe you're like, hey man, I like the woods a little bit. I like this kind of setting.
Yeah, so I never really thought I'd be, you know, everyone dreams about leaving high school and maybe going down south to play baseball, but you know, I kind of went a different way with it. Like I said, Mike Pemberton kind of got me interested into Keystone. So once I was finally here, you know, I acclimated with the area pretty well. I like the area. I actually met my girlfriend up here. She's from Oliphant. So it's been a good transition for me. You know, I'm used to everything up here now. You know, some of those cold winters practicing in the gym, it's not ideal, but you know, we work with what we have, and that's what makes us good.
How about getting to know some of these hometown guys from all over the area? Find out there's a lot of little towns. Everybody's kind of, you know, has some of those rivalries, but a little different for you to. And then you meet some of these guys from other parts of the country or the world in that fact.
Yeah, so our team's pretty diverse, I'd say, for especially it's a small D3 school up in the mountains of Pennsylvania. We have guys from Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and then we have, like you said, hometown guys from Hazleton, like Chris Panzarella, our shortstop, and other guys, Adam Kelly from, I think he's from Honesdale. So it's a good mix of guys from the area that, you know, can show us a good, some good spots to eat, like this place that we're at right now. And then you got the other guys that are from far away giving you a different experience.
Well, great to catch up with you. We wish you well. Hope you have a successful season.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
You got it.
Thank you very much.
Troy Tersey with us from the Keystone Giants Baseball Team. And Troy, you're from Connecticut.
Right.
So you get to meet these guys at Keystone from all over the country. How about your experience so far? What's it been like?
It's been a great experience. A lot of chemistry on this team, different than any other team. And even with the coaching staff, it's been amazing.
Let's talk about going from high school to college, that transition. Everybody's like, you know, I'm not sure what to expect. Some people go D1, come back, go D2. You're at a really good Division III program that has a lot of talent. How about that? What's that experience like for you?
It's a different experience. I mean, I transferred in from a D2 school from down south, and you know, the competition down there was great, but there's good competition up here, and this team's you know, ready for the season. We're starting 7 days, so.
You find Keystone College, you look at the campus, thinking, oh, it's kind of a quiet campus, stuff like that, but I'm sure you guys make the best of it and have a good time where you need to. There's a lot of traveling involved, so talk about getting out a little bit and just having some fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, you know, everybody, but we're always focused, we're always ready, and we're always prepared for practice, and you know, that's about it. You know, we have fun, everyone together collectively.
Your role on the team, talk a little bit about your position, your play, and what coach expects of you.
I'm a starter, pitcher, right hand, and you know, I think coach expects a lot from me. I think everyone does, and I'm going to try to help lead the team this year and bring us to the World Series. And I think we have a lot of talent to do that. We got a lot of depth in our pitching staff and our hitters too.
Talk about pitchers, the size of guys. You know, you might look at a guy, okay, what's this guy have? You know, a lot of different styles, a lot of different sizes. But you know, if you're efficient, you do the job. It doesn't matter, right?
Right. No, it's just about coming in, throwing strikes, and competing, executing pitches. That's all you got to do. It's all coach asks for, you know. So size doesn't really dictate anything.
Billy Nelson, tell us a little bit about what he brings to the table.
He's everything. I mean, he's got a great bat. He's going to be a starter, and we're going to really need him this year. He's going to be a big guy for us.
As far as the bats this year, what do you expect there? Because everybody seems to feel pretty strongly about the pitching, but you guys will need some bats. And some of these games, you could get in a little bit of a slugfest.
Yeah, make no mistake about it. We got a really good pitching staff, and our defense is great too. But I think
we have a lot of depth for our hitters. You can place guys anytime. Who's ever ready and prepared to play. I think we're going to be fine hitting-wise too.
Well, we look forward to you guys having some success, and great to catch up with you, and enjoy your year, okay?
All right, you too.
All right, we're with Brendan Long from the Keystone Giants baseball program, and Brendan, let's talk you wear a couple of hats there for the team.
Yes, sir.
So first, talk about your pitching talent.
Okay.
Where Coach may use you, beginning, end, middle.
Everything I've heard so far is they plan on having me start just because as a two-way player, it's a little easier to know what day you're going to pitch instead of coming out of the pen. But other than that, we'll just see whatever Coach Shev thinks.
And let's talk about what you think you bring as a starting pitcher. Well, you got some good heat, you got some movement on your ball. Let's talk about that.
I mean, I'm not going to strike a ton of guys out. I kind of rely on my location, off-speed pitches. I like to pitch backwards, try to get ahead with the off-speed stuff. But yeah, that's about what I got.
What do you learn from high school to college as far as, the type of player you are, how you don't have to be perfect all the time, and making sure that you have 8 guys. High school could be, you have 4 or 5, you have a dominant kid, stuff like that. Tell us about the difference.
Well, in high school, I was more focused on the strikeout because you're a little not as confident knowing that they're going to make the plays behind you. But here we got guys behind us that this isn't a typical D3 program. We got guys that are going to make the plays.
Talk about some of the friendships you've built here with some of these guys.
Well, I played with Billy Nelson down at junior college down in Florida at Indian River. He's probably the main reason I came here. Stayed in touch with him after my old school. He said he enjoyed it being here, so I figured I'd come out here. We got guys from all around the country. Got people from Puerto Rico, Dominican, New York. We got a bunch of characters, a bunch of funny guys, but for the most part, everyone gets along pretty well.
As far as the field positions you're going to play this year, talk about some different things that you think you could do out there.
Well, most of the fall they had me in the outfield, corner outfield, left and right. Just recently they had me taking some ground balls at first, just more as a depth type of thing, make sure I just know in case I have to get over there. But I think most of my playing time will be in the outfield.
Coach Shevchik, young guy, pretty enthusiastic, but he's got a lot of years of baseball under his belt.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about what you think he brings as a coach.
Our practices we get more done at practice than at probably any other program I've been at. His experience being in the Cape League, just being here for 20 years, something like that. Countless conference championships. I've learned just to listen to him. He knows what he's doing.
As far as some of the places you guys get to travel to, you'll hit your home state of Florida. That'll probably be pretty good, right?
Yep, it'll be about 45 minutes from the hometown, so the whole family will get to go. Start off in Maryland, though, down at Johns Hopkins. It'll be fun. Get to travel a little bit.
Well, I think you guys are going to have a successful year, and I'm sure you'll be a big part of it. Thank you so much for coming to Arcaro and Genell.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Matt Fish out of North Pocono playing for the Keystone College Giants. Matt, welcome in, and great to see you here at the Takeaway Kitchen at Arcaro and Genell. Let's talk about the game of baseball you love. What do you love about it?
It's not much I don't love. Everything. I mean, I just love being out there with a good group of guys who want to be out there with me, and we have the same goal in mind.
Coach Jardine, Coach Shevchik, very good friends.
Yes.
Some people, Billy said, hey, kind of similar styles, what they expect out on the baseball field.
I agree 100%. Their style of baseball is exactly the same. A lot of similarities going into this year between bunt defenses, offensive strategies, and different stuff like that.
What do we get when we see Matt Fish out there playing some baseball? Well, what kind of player are you?
Solid defensive catcher. Block, I'll throw runners out, be framing pitches, and maybe hitting a ball once in a while.
Well, you got to know your role. Of course, being a solid defensive catcher, you got a lot of guys you got to catch here on this team. So, and there's a lot of variety, size, and speed, and different things. What are you seeing so far early here with this pitching staff?
We have a lot of great pitchers. Obviously, we have guys who are 10, 15 miles an hour difference in velocity, but everybody has their strengths and everybody has their weaknesses. The biggest thing is figuring out who does what well and what they struggle with.
Let's talk about Billy Nelson, kind of young man that he is. He's a senior. He's a leader. He's a North Pocono product. What do you learn from him?
I've learned a ton. My freshman year, I had the opportunity to catch Billy. My freshman year, his senior year on varsity, and I've been growing up with Billy since I was 8. We lived in Scranton together. He just knows so much about the game. And when I have questions, he's a guy I can go to.
As far as the work ethic you guys have, one of the guys said, boy, Coach Shevchik gets the most out of his practices. You guys are quite busy. Take us through, a couple-hour practice there at Keystone and you guys being efficient.
We work hard, there's no doubt, and he demands perfection. We're not getting away with missing signs and messing up our bunt coverages. We'll stay out there as long as it takes to make sure we have everything done and everybody knows exactly what they're doing.
Focus seems to be one of the words that some of the guys use as well. As much as you're kind of at a quiet campus setting and you guys try to have fun and get together, you guys have a purpose that you guys want to go to that World Series and win it.
100%. I think if somebody isn't thinking like that, they have the wrong train of thought. Obviously, everybody has one goal in mind, and it's the World Series. That's the end. But we also can't get ahead of ourselves too much. We have to win those first games to get there.
How about some of the travel? You enjoy the time together when you guys travel?
Yeah, it's a good team bonding experience. Get to know the guys a little bit more. Those long rides, sometimes you run out of stuff to talk about, so you get to know each other.
All right, Matt. Well, hey, great catching up with you here at the Takeaway Kitchen at Arcaro and Genell tonight.
Thank you.
Adam Kelly with us from the Honesdale Hornets, now Keystone College Giants. And Adam, you're just a freshman getting to learn a little bit about college baseball. What's it been like so far?
It's been fun. Learned a lot with all the coaches. It's just a great experience.
Talk about fall ball, what that was like, and kind of getting your feet wet and saying, okay, these are some of the things we're going to be doing.
Yeah, it was just a new experience, new kind of baseball. It's just the way we approached everything was just real good. It's exciting.
How about some of these seniors and different leaders on the team and trying to, I'm sure you get a little bit of the business as a freshman, but at the same time, they're trying to show you the ropes, saying this is what college ball is about.
Yeah, the leaders are great. I mean, they're great with the team. Our chemistry because of them is awesome. And looking up to those guys, we got to fill their shoes.
Overall, let's talk about the positions you think you'll be playing this year. Is it kind of honing in on one, or you got some utility to you?
I mean, that's not my decision. That's for coach to make a decision, but we're just going to go with it and find out.
As far as where did you play in the high school level, as far as position-wise?
I played outfield, center field.
And this year, it's a big roster at Keystone. Talk about competing for a spot and trying to get your name kind of out there, saying, okay, I want to get a little bit of time in here.
Well, there's a lot of open spots in the outfield. Nothing's set yet, so you just got to go out and compete every day and try hard.
Your ball game overall, talk about, what kind of guy are you? A guy who can kind of get on base, whether it's from a walk or a bunt or a couple of singles? Do you have some power to you?
A lot of speed in my game. I like to run, just square the ball up, see where it goes.
How about the coaching staff overall? I know, like I said, it's pretty early, but what have you learned so far from some of these guys at the college level?
I've learned so much, you can't even narrow it down. The amount of hitting that makes me so much of a better hitter, and just the little fielding tips, and it's unbelievable what these guys know.
What are you looking forward to with some of this travel? You guys are going to get to go to Florida. I'm sure it'll be a good experience for you.
Yeah, it's just going to be a great team experience. Going to go down there and win some games, have fun.
Well, we appreciate you coming out to Arcaro and Genell tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.